Liberty earns its first Big South win of the year, 34-0 shutout over Gardner-Webb. And Nick, from the word go, you mentioned it a lot during the ball game as far as the defense perspective goes. They were all over the field, had a dominant performance.
They did, and it really all started up front. You and I were talking about it this week, the defensive line. Coach Gill alluded to it on Tuesday at his press conference as well, that the Flames were going to have to win on the line of scrimmage here tonight, and they did on both sides of the football, as evidenced by the way that the Flames offense was able to rack up 499 yards and more than 200 yards rushing on the ground as well. But let's go back to that defensive side. Chima Uzuehi, 2.5 sacks. They really bothered Lucas Beatty back there early in the ball game. And it doesn't matter what kind of receiving core you got. It doesn't matter what kind of playmakers you have. If you don't have time to get them the football, it's not going to happen for you.
And Gardner-Webb is not that quick-paced offense like Richmond and Indiana State, so it gave that line, who's really good, to get back there. And on the back end, much maligned at Appalachian State, tightened it up. Wesley Scott had an interception. Kenny Scott, tremendous job on Kenny Cook.
Absolutely. And, you know, Coach Gill said, he was joking, he told Kenny before the ball game, you're guarding Kenny Scott, or Kenny Cook. If he goes to the bathroom, you go with him. I'm really glad he didn't,
right.
But still, the point was you got to lock him down, and that's exactly what Kenny Scott did out here today. So as you said, phenomenal overall job by this defense, and you alluded to it as well with Gardner-Webb. Their offense, plays need time to develop. Their offense that makes a lot of explosive plays down the field. They didn't have an opportunity to do that here tonight.
And the theme this week was to disrupt their rhythm, which is what they did. Chima Uzuehi, as we mentioned, had 2.5 sacks. Found out after the game on his phone through social media that he is now in the top 5 at Liberty in career sacks, and he also added his thoughts on the defensive overall performance.
We knew that we just had to come out here and play hard. Don't underestimate them, but we knew that if we did our job, worked our technique, and played fast and explosive, we knew we would get back there and get some pressure.
Liberty tonight, Nick, 6 of 8 in the red zone, took advantage of their opportunities. John Lunsford got involved, a couple of field goals. So methodically, the Flames did what they need to do on the offensive side.
Yeah, I think only 4 times all year the Flames have gotten into the red zone and not come away with points, be it a field goal or a touchdown. And more times than not, it's been a touchdown. So really good to see that dominance continue down there also. And again, it was a mixture. It was a run, it was pass. You know, Woodrum, 15 completions for 15 of 23 for 204 yards tonight. Also, I believe he ran for a score as well, if I'm not mistaken.
He did, yep.
And DJ Abner obviously doing the workload there with 137 yards on the ground and 2 touchdowns. Left early in the fourth quarter with the foot injury. Coach Turner Gill, as usual, we've got to wait 48 hours to see, but with him walking around on the sideline afterwards, did say that he anticipates he'll be good to go next week for Presbyterian, so that's good news.
And a tip of the cap to DJ, first back since Rashad to have at least 3 straight 100-yard performance a game on the ground, so congratulations to DJ on that. What do you say about the receiving core? A lot of people got involved. Not your typical suspects, didn't really, I guess, try to stretch the field all that much. Couple of plays by Dante down the field, but Jaquan Glover gets in the end zone for the first time. So good to see some other guys get involved while the other guys kind of somewhat took a back seat here tonight.
Yeah, Dante shells 2 catches for 106 yards. That's pretty efficient night.
Second straight 100-yard game for him, we might add, but you know, at the end of the day, you got some other people involved in it.
Yeah, Jaquan Glover, it was good to see him get into the end zone. First career touchdown catch for a senior out there, 4 catches on the night, 41 yards, and really just spreading the football around. That's what Woodrum did so well at Appalachian State as well. You got to get everyone involved. It's got to be the sum of the parts out here, and it was good to see that again.
Got up with Jaquan after the ball game, and he said the open week last week really got this team prepared to open up Big South play.
The bye week, you know, we got rest, and we also took care of a lot of things in practice, and so we can get ahead for to win this Big South championship.
You know, this game was predicated by the defensive pressure up front. Started with a couple of 3 and outs on the first couple of series, and 5 sacks, and a lot of tackles for loss. So it bears repeating how good the defense played in this game.
Well, Carroll McRae had concerns coming in that Gardner-Webb's offensive line wasn't going to be able to hold up, and he was really concerned about the interior defensive line of Liberty, guys like Nico Davis and Jerron Green. And even though, you know, Jerron didn't come away with any sacks tonight, you still saw him in the backfield and forcing, you know, rushing throws, and that's what you want to see. You've got to be able to get back there and disrupt. Even though you don't come away with a sack or you might not lay a hit on him, which I think actually Jerron did lay a big hit on him. He still got the throw off in the second half, but that's what you want to see. And it was good to see this defensive line come around, and hopefully it kind of sets the tone going forward.
And we need to also talk about the play of Nick Saban coming back and
Yeah, no
Wesley
doubt.
Scott kind of stabilizing that defense a little bit.
Yeah, and when you can move guys back into their natural positions, that's a good thing as well. When you move Dylan Llewellyn back over to the weak side and you've got Nick's presence there at the middle spot. I think they were kind of limiting his snaps here tonight, it seemed, but it was good to see him back out on the field, and they're going to need him, for these last 4 games.
Turner Gill, the head coach of the Flames, also mentioned about the defense being able to pin their ears back and really get after it defensively here tonight.
It's a great to see our defense respond. I give a lot of credit to our coaching staff and our players. They really took these past 2 weeks to really dedicate to what they need to do, and we talked about getting it fixed. And our coaches did the great adjustment that they made on different things. Our players played a heck of a ball game. That's really hard to do here in 2014, to shut out somebody, number one. Then number two, to hold them under 100 yards. And that's really difficult in today's college football with the offenses, the way they go about doing things.
So Liberty now improves to 1-0 in Big South play. They'll head onto the road in the league for the first time next week at Presbyterian. Kickoff set for 2 o'clock. Our pregame radio coverage comes your way at 12:30. But before that, lots of previews and features of this game coming up here throughout the week right here at LibertyFlames.com. For Nick Pierce, I'm Alan York for the Liberty Flames Sports Network.